to another edition of Hoser Chat Live. Myself, Brad, and Paul over here. Today we're going to start, since we're so excited for the season, we're going to look forward to next season. Help you maybe a little bit with your fantasy team. I was the champion of my fantasy league last year. Paul knows all too well. So we'll start with our top 10 scorers, and then we'll move on from that with defensemen and goalies, etc. But we'll go with scorers first. So I'm going to start at number 10 for me. I'm going with Evgeny Malkin. He had a really great start to the year. He was on pace for 90 to 100 points, but given the fact that he plays in the Russian Super League, he wasn't used to an 82 game schedule, so he's tailed off towards the end. I think Malkin's easily capable of getting 100 points, so I'm picking him as the 10th leading scorer in the league for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. His conditioning's probably up from full season, and yeah, I look forward to watching. As my 10th pick, I picked Pavel Datsyuk, and the reason for this is in the second half of the season, he really lit it up. I actually had him on one of my fantasy teams, and he pretty much carried me. He played with Zetterberg for the whole season, but towards the end of the season, they added Holmstrom to the mix, and that line just clicked unbelievably, and
yeah,
they worked the magic. My chair just broke.
Yeah, and for number 9, I'm going to go with much talked about Thomas Vanek, because Thomas Vanek had 43 goals last year, and I think he's capable of getting 50 and 100 points again, so I'm picking him at 9. He's going to earn that $7 million a year salary.
Yeah, you probably get more power play time too.
Yeah, exactly.
Drury and
Drury gone. Yeah. I'm not a big Sabres fan though. Let's get that straight right now.
Yeah, for my 9th pick, it's a bit of a shocker. I'm picking Ryan Getzlaf just because he was a wizard in the playoffs, and he might have Todd Bertuzzi on his line this year, and
I think it's a little bit of a risky pick, but
yeah, well, like you said earlier before we started this video, Teemu Selanne might be gone, so he's gonna eat up some of that ice time. He's gonna get a lot of sugar time on the PP, and he's got that cannon from the point.
He does.
With Niedermeyer gone, maybe.
Well, I think him and Pronger are going to be manning the point on that power play now, I think.
Yeah, you think so.
So they usually go with a 4-forward power play unit sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go with Pronger.
Show.
Well, good thing your chair didn't break this time.
Yeah.
For number 8, it's not really that big of a surprise. I'm going to go with Marian Hossa. I mean, he had 100 points last year. He's going to do it again this year for sure, in my opinion. He's in a contract year too.
For sure.
So I think the guy's going to probably make $7 million a year next year, maybe even get an $8 million offer.
Yeah. I would call him maybe the best all-around player in the league.
Yeah, I think he's the most underrated player in the league too.
Yeah.
He's big, he's strong, he's a finesse player too. He can do just about everything.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes he doesn't muck it up as much as he should for a guy of his size, but that's just what typically goes with a European hockey player, I guess. But he doesn't need to muck it up, much like a player like Thomas Carble. They don't need to muck it up because they skate around it. So I'm going to go with Marian Hossa as my 8th leading scorer in the league.
He's got so much strength too. He's kind of like a Sundin kind of player in that respect. Like he can just come out from behind the net and do anything. So for my 8th pick, I'm going to pick Martin St. Louis because of Vinny Lecavalier. St. Louis has a great deal of skill, but I mean Lecavalier had a career year last year, and I expect him to do pretty much the same this year.
Yeah, I don't have St. Louis in my top 10, but he's definitely in my top 15. He's not I don't think he's going to score 50 goals or anything, but he's definitely a very capable player.
Yeah.
For number 7, I'm going to go with Danny Heatley. I mean, he's scored 50 goals 2 straight years now. He's going to make it 3 most likely. I would almost want to see him play on a different line than Jason Spezza because I think he might even get probably not as many points, but I think he'd be a better player.
Yeah, better
because I think he relies too much on Spezza to give him that pass, and I find sometimes he gets a little complacent and lazy.
Yeah.
Because he's always waiting for Spezza, and sometimes the guy has a lot of talent. You never really see it all the time. Only when Spezza gets injured usually.
Yeah, Spezza was out for a good 3 weeks last year. Heatley really stepped it up and sort of carried the offense for them.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Heatley, number 7.
Number 7 for me is Marian Hossa. And
There you go.
pretty much the same reason that you said. He's probably my favorite player outside of Ottawa.
No, yeah, he's definitely really talented. I would love if the Leafs could somehow, when Sundin's retired next year, and they somehow get, with all the cap room they have, somehow get him on this team. But I know maybe that's a pipe dream. But
Well, you can always dream.
Yeah. Number 6. This is the guy I'm picking to win the Maurice Richard Trophy next year as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Alexander Ovechkin. I don't think it's a stupid pick at all.
No.
He's playing with Backstrom or Nylander. One of the two he's going to play with next year.
Nylander's like a wizard.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I think he can't lose either way. I mean, it's either going to be him and Nylander and Backstrom and Cement, or Ovechkin and Backstrom and Cement and Nylander. So I think he's going to win no matter what, because he's going to be playing with the playmaking center.
It's definitely a step up from Chris Clark.
No, yeah, it definitely is. And Brian Sotheby.
Yeah. All right. My number 6 pick is Vinny LeCavalier. I sort of mentioned him, my St. Louis pick. Yeah, he's great talent, and he's capable of scoring another 50 goals.